Sick.
Welcome back to Stars Without Number, Abaddon, going into hour 4? Yeah, that's it.
4, 3, whatever.
Going into hour
Somewhere
4.
in there.
It's four.
I'm gonna kill myself.
Cool. Yeah, you should.
You really should.
Well, so last episode happened.
We fade up from the commercial break, and like across the top of the screen it says 4 days later, and we're on the bridge of like a ship, and all around the bridge we see like people in EDF uniforms. We see a man step forward into the center deck, and he says, "EDF Halliday, this is the EDF Thomas Prince requesting a connection." And the big view screen in front of him kind of flashes on, and we see a person we recognize and the captain of the EDF Halliday, Lucia Romanov, on the screen. And the man on the bridge in front of us says, Captain Romanov, it's been a while, good to see you." And Romanov says, "Yes, indeed, Captain, it has been a while. It is good to see you back. Much needed supplies and new personnel. It'll be good for a shift change of scenery." And the man in the bridge in front of him, the man on the bridge in front of us nods, says, "Indeed, Romanov, heard we're taking on some passengers." And the captain nods, says, "You are. We picked up some stowaways. We need you to transport them back to Luna. You'll be taking on a couple of our Marines as well, just in case. They have an augmented on board. You'll have to take ours to, well, stop it from being trouble." And he nods. He says, "Roger that, Romanov. Have to double check that with command, but that should be fine. If not, we can just keep the augment sedated. That'll keep them out of trouble." She nods. She says, "That'll work too, Thomas Prince. It is your call." He says, "Roger that. We due for docking in." He kind of like looks off to his side. "Roughly 4 hours. Sit tight, and we'll get across those supplies needed. See you then." And we see like for the first time, we see the Captain Romanov smile. Says, "Of course, Thomas Prince. We will see you then. I look forward to having a drink." And he nods. The captain in front of us nods, and he says, "Of course, Romanov. 4 times." And the comms cut. And then we cut back to the mess hall type area, where I'm gonna say, for once again the purpose of the scene, all 3 of you are there.
Not Gwyn?
And no, Gwen. Gwen is currently under sedation and will remain under sedation until they're happy for her not to be. So
I'm gonna roll to resist that.
go for it. Once again, the doctor is there, so
And they're probably just gonna pump you with more and more.
I'm gonna roll to resist it.
You went from going to sleep to ODing. Pablo.
they just killed you. Like, fuck this, too much trouble.
Rip me.
Cool. So the doors to the main area are in slide open, and 2 Marines walk in. And in the middle of the Marines, we see the EXO of the Holiday, with Mo Gassal. That was his name. Yeah, I actually got that. Nailed it. And he floats in beside the Marines. He says, "Okay, you will all be getting off this boat soon. We'll be transferring you over to the Thomas Prince, and from there, you will be transported back to Luna. Be ready your possessions, and you have like basic ship possessions, so like towels and toothbrushes and shit. So that's your possessions and get ready to transfer ship. I hope you enjoyed your stay upon the holiday, and I hope not to see you again soon.
Myra pipes up before he leaves. What about our personal effects? The ones you confiscated?
They'll be transferred to the Thomas Prince. Those will be returned to you when you disembark at Luna.
Doesn't say anything else.
Okay. Alright, cool. So the hours pass until every player apart from Gwen would physically feel the ship like shudder as it undergoes the docking procedure with the Thomas Prince, and supplies and personnel were offloaded. A few hours after that, the doors once again slide open, and this time the entire task force of Marines step through the door in armor. All 12 of them. They step through, and rifles not raised but like at their sides, readied. And the Sergeant Vasquez in the middle pipes up. He says, "All right, everybody, grab your things. Let's go. You're being transported off this boat."
You have all your belongings, Dr. Matua?
Not the important ones, but yes, for now.
Good,
Yes.
good.
Slane's been like there's actually, sorry, it wouldn't be all of the Marines, it'd be all -2. So it'd be 10. There would be one, like the other two first go and collect Slane and then go and get you, Gwen, whilst keeping you sedated.
Also,
Good.
I have a question.
Yep.
In the time frame since the other stuff happened, do I get any bit of patching up or anything?
I assume Myra
Nah.
sees you limited capacity. No.
No. He fucked our way
Okay.
out of here.
Hi. Am I alive?
Yeah, you're. Oh.
Oh, that's amazing.
Am I alive?
Yeah.
Just-
Dies.
You're alive.
But yeah,
You're back.
You've regained your hit points, Constantine.
Okay, thank you.
It's been like a while, so.
It was only
Days.
5, so.
Am I awake
punched
or am I still
before that,
dead?
Matt.
Yeah, we've gotten some of the previous security personnel with us to like organize everyone and get their belongings and make sure nothing untoward happens without our
Yes.
knowing.
Sick.
Am I awake or I'm
You're-
out of
You're still sedated.
Yeah.
You can't
They've
be too
kept you
shocked by
sedated.
that one.
But sometimes I don't want to be.
Sometimes it might not want to be sedated. You think about that?
I think that's probably how I am when I'm awake at the moment.
Now I got the fucking Ramones song stuck in my head.
All right. So they transfer you between the ships. You pass through the halls of the Holiday, and then through a small like docking tube, and then onto the halls of the Thomas Prince. There is really no difference between these two ships, apart from that one of them has the Holiday stenciled inside, like on the bulkheads and stuff. This one has the Thomas Prince and a different serial number, stenciled on side in the doors. Apart from that, there's not a lot of difference between them.
We're
So-
stationed in the same quarters.
Yeah, like pretty similar. Pretty similar. It's probably not the exact same situation. Like you don't follow the exact same halls down, but like the actual setup is pretty similar.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I make sure my bunk is not with Constantine.
That's Leona's bunk.
Yeah, we have Morgan bunking under you, and you were bunking on the top shelf. And I don't know. Did we get? Do we get one Arlene Santos to join our bunk?
Yeah, I
Four
think
to a
she
room.
did.
I got Vinny in this room.
Sure. So we have 4.
Yeah, so let like
That's fine.
Arlene does join you, like if there's a spare bunk there, like she joins you.
Does Vinny join
You've
us?
built enough of a rapport.
My little Vinny pal.
Vinny takes you, no one wants to talk to you again.
Yeah, I think Vinny and Erica sharing a room.
Seriously, motherfucker. Damn it. He's moved on quick.
It's been
Were
like
you
2
a
months.
thing?
Matt,
Well,
it's been
you-
literally like
you-
2 months or so now.
Yeah, you
It's
you
only been,
barely
like, 3
acknowledged
weeks.
them. You barely acknowledged them, Matt.
I've
Yeah,
been
man.
talking.
And how long has it been?
I've been talking to them very consistently.
Yeah, but
Liam,
it's
how long has it
always
been?
been this. Like, you don't have an agency above. Yeah, we've established a rapport, and I want to keep that.
Also, weren't you trying to bang the guy from the EDF the entire time you were there?
No, I was trying to get in good with him.
You trying to
Awesome.
bang him?
Yeah.
Yeah, you made Vinny jealous.
Vinny's like
Cool.
13. Child.
Liam, answer my damn question.
Sorry?
How much time has passed?
It's been so since that incident, it's been like almost 5 days.
Since it's only been
So
like 3
that's
weeks.
Been here about 3-4 weeks.
Sorry?
How long have we been on that ship altogether?
Oh, this ship, it's been like 3 weeks, maybe 4. Cool. So yeah, so the actual transfer, unless any of you do anything, passes uneventfully. I think.
What would we
so-
do? Just Liam, for the
Look, hey.
record.
Look, I have to offer.
Yeah.
As a GM, my players can do anything they want to do. I will not limit them.
Uh,
The only limits I will place on them is the limitations of their situation.
I charged one of
Alright.
the new guards, screaming. Bloody
Okay,
mother.
you get shot. You get shot and killed.
Can I roll a new
Like
character?
you take the guard down and like you start like smacking on his helmeted head and you don't do anything because he's helmeted. And then the other 2 guards who are next to him just like kill you.
that
Shit.
sounds horrible. I prevent you from charging the guard.
So I
I suddenly acquire the psychic one that lets me tell time.
Recognition.
Yeah.
So we see a scene. So Gwen, we see like Gwen like floated into a single room on the Thomas Prince. It's nicer than the room you had before, slightly larger.
Ooh.
You actually have like a crash couch in this one, like a burn couch. So if the ship actually has to do any high G maneuvers, you don't just die. Which is a nice thought, a nice touch from them.
Yeah, because the previous ship thought you would behave nicely.
So yeah, they put you in there, strap you into the burn couch, like lock you into it, and then the doctor starts the procedure of like bringing you back around, and like they bring you they bring you out of the sedation, and you kind of like blearily come awake. You see like Lucia standing above you. And she looks like shit, right?
still.
She's still barely recovering from like not having a lot of sleep. She looks better than she did, but she still has like the dark bags under her eyes. She doesn't look great. And she like leans over you, Gwen, and says, "Well, at least I don't have to deal with you anymore. Doctors on the Thomas Prince decided to put you in a coma, which means I get to stay with the holiday, and you get to fuck off back to Luna. I'll actually get a good night's sleep. What a fucking idea.
You'll never forget me.
No, I won't. Not that that's a good thing." Shakes her head. "Well, if it matters," she leans in close, I hope they lock you up in the lunar black site and you never see the light of fucking day again. Fuck you, Gwen.
Back at you.
She like turns and looks at the doctor. You can put her back on then now.
Before she
sure the
leaves, I
doctor
scream at her again.
Yeah, so like the physical is just like a fuck you or like likewise, whereas internally it's just like a raging teenager fucking.
Also, I make the doctor forget I'm there.
Cool. So what does that skill actually read?
So you make him forget to put you under.
It's in something. It's in present telepath.
Yeah.
You have a single potential action on one person.
So
Okay.
you wanna make him forget that he puts you under, like he thinks he's already done it or something.
Basically.
Well, you can get him to forget to do an action, not change his recollection of a moment.
That comes later. I make him forget to actually properly sedate me. And no, I don't.
Do you though?
Oh man.
Dude,
You tried.
Resist.
Jesus Christ. Fuck yeah, Mr. Doctor. You're fucking badass. I love you.
I resist.
Yeah, the doctor like sits with you until you're unconscious. So you resist the first dosage. You want to try and resist the second?
Yes.
Holy shit!
Yep, you resist the second dose.
You're never gonna wake up out of this coma. You realize that,
So-
right?
Okay, so you resist the second dose, and like you're
I
still a bit
pretend to go
drowsy
under.
from the initial like dosage. But I mean they have like vitals monitors there. They know you're not actually unconscious. And like Lucia kind of like looks at the doc. She says, "I can put her under if you want."
No, you can't.
Are you still screaming in her head?
Yes.
Yeah, Lucia gets this like vicious grin, and she leans over you, like places one hand on your shoulder where you're strapped to the crash couch, and just like pops you in the bridge of the nose.
No, she doesn't.
That's not
She
how that
does.
works.
You just don't. She does. You just don't pass out. So you like reel back into the crash couch, and the doctor like shuffles back from you, and she has this same like vicious grin. She says, "That's fine. Just means I get to hit you again, puta."
I spit on her face.
Fuck yeah. Yeah, you absolutely hit. Like, there's nowhere for to miss. She's like right in your face. And yeah, she pops you again. Fuck yeah.
Oh man.
It's actually amazing. And like,
We
so
just
once
see
again,
like a bloodied
you
Gwen
reel
with-
back. You see like there are stars in the corner of your vision. Like you get like the black tunneling that you like force back by sheer like feet of fuck this woman.
That's all that's keeping
And
you
she has
going.
like you look up at her and she has this blood like smeared across her face from where you like spat this like bloody saliva across her. And your face looks like a wreck. Like there's blood like floating from your nose, from your mouth where like your lip is split. And she goes, "I just get to do it again."
Just leave.
She leans in. "Best part? I can't leave till you're asleep. That's my fucking orders. Best orders I've ever fucking received."
Oh man.
When she goes in for the punch this next time, can I try teleporting again? Like, is
can.
there any way that I can
You
overpower
wanna
her?
wait. She
You-
leans
not-
in to tell
not with
her
your-
that it's her best
with your
orders, and you
implants?
fucking bite her on the nose.
With your implants, you could very possibly out effort her if she's done other things that day. But without your implants, you just because double spending, you just don't have enough effort. Unless she's already done a lot of psychic stuff, which at the moment all she's doing is you. That sounds bad. So
If I torch...
Yep.
Would it still be using double?
If you torch, no, I'm gonna say yeah. That'll be an effective torching. Torching will allow you to spend without your.
I kind of want to torch just because it's what Gwen would do.
Torch. Torch.
Oh man.
Torch.
Also,
Well,
let me
look,
just quickly.
You
Let
just
me,
fucking hate this woman so much.
because you would have taken the damage from the 2 punches.
Yeah, no.
You take 5 damage from the two
Yeah.
blows to the head.
Okay, torching, if I roll 1d6, and if I get anything but a 6, I lose attribute.
Whoa!
Holy shit.
1 from wisdom, 1 from constitution, or 1 from whatever I choose. Depending on what I roll.
Let me find the. There we go.
Hey,
So we see the vitals monitoring Gwen's body, and it's just like it starts like there's like
Freaking
a
out.
warning.
I'm thinking you should do it. It's not my character though.
I
would
trying
never
to,
make
like,
a
either
character that would
teleport or-
voluntarily torch in that condition.
See, the thing is, this is what Gwen would do. She's extremely hot-headed, and
Look, I could see this in character. I could see Gwen
Yeah.
being like, "Fuck this."
yeah.
Who needs a spleen?
Yep. So you, what do you do?
So you do torch.
I haven't. I keep trying to do it up until I do have to torch, which is now.
So yeah, we see Gwen's like vitals going batshit.
Beep, beep,
Cool,
beep, 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 beep.
What is the
roll-
doctor?
roll me a
do-
D6.
What's the doctor doing?
He's like standing back from the bed at this point because Lucia is like leaning over him. Roll me a
Oh,
D6. There we go. Fuck yeah.
I teleport out of the room.
Sick. Cool. Yes, you teleport. Like you break through that mental barrier, and you teleport. Where do you teleport to? Like, do you need to have seen the place? How does teleporting work on this? Let me scroll to the
He
page.
needs to have seen the place.
Yeah.
What is? So I'm imagining the camera is focused on the scene of the two of them. Gwen disappears. What's the reaction from Lucille?
So we see her like focus for a second. Like we see her like stand straight, like stand back up for a second, look a little bit shocked. And then she like grins, and turns and walks out of the room, and draws her sidearm.
This is fun.
I mean, where would you end up?
You also see the doctor, like pulling up his compact to make it cool.
I'm quickly looking through the teleportation thing to see if I actually have to see it in this version or not.
I mean, you are connected to Morgan.
Yeah, which is what I'm thinking.
Okay.
I mean, you're torching, so everything kind of goes out the window, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy to say that, like, with the torching, you can essentially see the people, like, see through the eyes of the people you're connected with, and hence can then teleport to where Morgan is.
I teleport in front of Morgan.
What the fuck?
Get ready.
Oh no! What did you do?
So
You
Gwen's
notice my
face,
face is extremely bloody.
Yeah. Gwen's face is like there is blood, just like
Dr. Matua.
spewing out.
Doctor
Like her
Matua.
face.
Yeah, I'm in the middle of saying something to Morgan when Gwen just appears in front of the both of us. Like, very surprised. Yeah, can I roll to like fix her up?
I'll probably push you away and say we don't have time. I need to hide.
You don't need to hide. You just appeared in front of us. How are they gonna know you're here?
Lucia. She probably sees where I am.
Oh.
Then you need to
well,
go.
that's-
Keep going. Somewhere else.
I run to a nearby door and just
Wait.
myself in.
And he takes like the towel, like a workout towel, and he just smears the blood and makes it like dry up, so that you're not leaving an obvious trail.
Yep.
and then I lock myself inside the nearest empty room.
And yeah, you basically run out of their room and keep going
Sure.
until you find an available cabin that doesn't have people in it.
Wouldn't the
Like if I see somebody, I teleport again.
wouldn't the other ship be near here? Like still in contact with this ship?
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, because they're waiting for what's her face.
Ooh, okay.
Did she try torching?
She didn't try torching.
She failed at torching.
I mean,
failed
one
twice.
is one isn't a fail.
Yes, it is. Well, it's not a fail. It's a.
No, she
what does
just loses a point of wisdom.
Oh,
Yeah,
so
She still does what she's doing.
You torch
The
no
first
matter
one
what.
wasn't. The first one wasn't a torch, by the way. The first one was something else. The second.
She's gonna get reprimanded so hard.
Also, I'm still connected to her. I make her forget me.
You're connected to her.
At 100
But
kilometers.
Yep.
I try
So-
to make her forget me. Do I feel the block?
Yeah. Yeah, you do.
I torch.
So Morgan, she arrives in your room, like in the room, like wherever you were when, like, fucking Gwen appeared. Like
Gwen.
Lucia appears in the same place.
I lose a Constitution score.
She has her like sidearm drawn, and as soon as she sees you, she takes a couple of steps back from you and points the sidearm at you. Where did she go?
He shrugs.
Her helmet's on at this point, by the way.
He shrugs and says, "Who?"
She leaves the room. What did you do with that?
Room I'm in, I've pretty much cut off any entrances I can find.
Cool.
Do you need any
Yeah.
help?
Keep her away from me.
No.
He
He
was
gets
saying
up.
it.
Like,
He
do you
was-
need any help?
Yeah.
Like
She
he's walking
turns.
after her. Like,
She
What's
turns to you, Morgan, and like even through the like electronic distortion of the speakers, you hear like the anger in her voice. She says, "You have 2 ships worth of Marines about to storm this section of the ship. They will search every fucking room here until we find her. This will work better for you if you just tell me where she is."
again, I have to ask, who?
Gwen.
Give me a name.
I know she came.
Gwen.
I can see where she teleports to.
Are you alright, Lucille? You seem a bit
You
distressed.
give us a minute. We'll try to locate her.
Perhaps you need some
Not-
sleep?
But enough. She like walks out of the room.
Okay, since the psychic, like the mental connections are undetectable, if I'm still screaming at her, can she find me?
I would assume
Uh,
so.
I was deciding that. I went with no because she's not a telepath. If
Then
she
I'm
was a
still
telepath, if she
Has
was a
it-
telepath, yes.
Has
Yeah.
But if she
yeah.
wasn't a telepath, no.
Has it progressed
Morgan-
from screaming to like childish taunting?
Basically.
So- You guys hear like, so she steps out of the room, and then you hear like a loud like clang, I guess, of like metal on metal. And if you walk out the room, you see
Oh,
like
yeah.
a fist-sized dent in one of the bulkheads.
Uh,
That she's walking away
yeah,
from.
yeah. Morgan is out of the room, and he's just like, he's connected to Gwen, so he's like, she's pissed. And you do know there's like 2 contingents of Marines available.
How big is the other vents on this ship?
Like they're cruel sizes, but the air vents aren't. There are maintenance
Uh-huh.
hatches which you don't have access to from here.
Just
I
go-
want to ask you if there is a place on like this part of the deck that doesn't have a camera, like
go-
some sort of. Yeah, I want to know if the rooms.
Like so
Yeah,
these you're not in a place that's set up to be a prison. You're in a place that's set up to be crew quarters. the rooms themselves don't have cameras.
Right. So, I think Morgan tries to open up rooms and help her, sort of like bumbling fool help her, and he opens up a room. Ah, Gwen, there you are.
Yeah, I'm following
I'm not-
Morgan.
The room I'm in is completely locked.
Yeah, but he doesn't find the room you are in. He finds a room and says, "Ah, Gwen, there you are."
So, Liam,
She-
does this
she
ship
spins
have
on her
any,
heels.
any pressurized maintenance bays that I can access if I try?
Not that you cannot. There is, but not from this deck.
Yeah, if I
They're
can
all-
find, I can get into it.
Yeah, they're you'd know. All of those sorts of access ways are accessible from like engineering or machine shops or like places like that.
Yeah.
Are these
Um,
ships built to the same specs? Like, how similar would their layout be?
Pretty close.
Could Gwen theorize?
They're not
where
like ships. They're
Could
pretty
Gwen
close.
theorize where the
Last maintenance shop I hid in was.
yeah, like on this ship and like through torching get there?
Every time she uses her psychic powers, this woman will find her.
Yeah. Every time she
Okay.
teleports, she knows where she goes. So teleporting is not a great move for her.
Not yet. Not yet. Give me a second.
So at this moment, another like person enters the hallway. It's a person that none of you recognize in a EDF uniform. And he like floats down the hallway towards you, Morgan.
Uh-oh.
I'm standing
And,
next to or behind Morgan.
Yeah, cool.
I stayed in my bunk. Fuck this.
So yeah, he floats down towards you. As he gets closer, he like calls out to the Marine. He says, "Marine, Corporal, need your attention, please." And she like grabs onto something and spins around to face him. Looks him up and down, and then like straightens visibly. And she says, "Yes, Lieutenant. What can I do for you?" Says, "You're not meant to be here, Marine. You're big quartermaster. Head there now before you get in any more shit than you're already in." She takes one more look at the room around her. Back of the lieutenant. Back of the room around her. Says, "Lieutenant, all due respect, but me leaving is not a good idea. There's a psyker, an augmented here. It's not good for me to be separated from it." Says, "Firstly, Corporal, I know that's not true. You can maintain that link anywhere from this vessel. Get out, go to your muster stations. You'll find her when the rest of the Marines storm this area." He turns and she turns like back to the room at Hull, back to the lieutenant. You see her like straighten again. You see her like her body language go a lot more rigid. She says, "Yes, sir," and like floats out of the corridor.
Morgan just gives Gwen a tiny message that says, "Yeah, Gwen, we're fucked. You just produce yourself right now. Otherwise, we're in the shit. We're all in the shit."
Maintenance is all I say.
Morgan just says, "No, Gwen. Just surrender. Give up.
So this
Know
lieutenant,
to choose your battles."
so this EDF lieutenant, floats forward more towards you, Morgan, and says, "Morgan,
Yes.
I believe it's time for us to get off this boat. Grab your friends, your things.
I
We're
knew it.
leaving."
What about our personal effects?
they're already been organized. And he like reaches up to like a small like I guess box on his collar, on the inside of his collar, and he clicks it, and like a shimmer runs across like all of his exposed skin.
It's Sloan.
Um,
That's his kid.
that would be awesome. And we see a man standing there who, like, immediately everybody sees is completely tattooed, head to toe in feathers.
Birdman.
And he looks at Morgan and says, "You made quite a mess of yourself. Let's go."
Indeed. And he basically opens the door and gets Arlene. It's time to leave. If you
Morgan,
want to come,
can I
now's
take
the time.
Morgan? Can I take Vinny with me? He might prove useful. He's promising.
He turns the man that Morgan would recognize as Jaden Booker, turns to him and says, "Decide which ones of them are important. Get them moving. Let's go. We don't have much time. Your things have been loaded onto the shuttle. We're getting on board and we're leaving now."
Can I hear the things that Nut is hearing?
No, but he's informing you as he talks. He's just like,
He's
Gwen,
relaying it. Yeah.
we have a way out right now. Do not hesitate. We're going. We're leaving.
I just tell you to get to the shuttle. I'll teleport when you're there.
Yeah. And he's like, Constantine!
Yeah, I run off and get Vinny.
Yeah, I literally get up after saying, "Do you think Psychic on the Run would make a good song title?"
He grabs you by the collar and yanks you up at his back.
Yeah, and I grab Leona and haul her too in 0G. It's like, oh, you're fucking coming too.
Do I manage to find Vinny? Like in his cabin or something?
He's sitting talking with Erica.
Both of you, now, follow me, quickly. I don't have time to explain. Just come.
Vinny stands up, pushes himself away from the bed. What?
Come with me now. We're getting off this shithole. Come on.
Okay. And then he like pushes himself away from the bed. Let's go, Erica.
Someone grab Sloan.
Does she come?
Yeah.
I don't know if Sloan can be grabbed.
Yeah, I sprint off to.
Poor Sloan.
search of
He's made
Morgan.
himself inaccessible.
Sloan is permanently locked in isolation. Don't worry, he will return.
He will make his return elsewhere.
Slane is level 9 psychic.
He's the secret big bad evil guy.
No. So we have Arlene. That's all. Yeah, we're going.
Cool. So who exactly have you got with you?
I'm writing it
wait.
now.
Is Christy still here?
You are? Cool. Christy's
Don't
still
take
she's still
fucking
on board.
Christy.
Get Christy.
Yeah. I there's like a before, like as we're leaving, there's like an opening of a door and you see Christy like sort of like half unprepared, and Morgan just sticks his head in and says, "If you want to go, now's the time. I'm not giving
She's
you
like-
any second chances."
Okay. Yeah, I love this. Like, so you open the door and she's like half getting changed or something. And she's like freezes as you open the door. She says, "Okay, let's go." She
Good.
like flicks on the overalls and like zips
Not
them
even
up.
questioning.
Then she trusts Morgan. She never did not trust Morgan.
Yeah. So that's all we have. All of the PCs and 2 NPCs.
All right, sweet.
No slave.
3 NPCs.
No slave.
5.
5. Oh god.
Slane's
there's like
already
10
there.
people.
I couldn't take Vinny and not take Erica. She would have asked too many questions.
So
Yeah.
yeah, you guys
Easier
lead.
this way.
Jaden leads the way through the halls of the ship. He reaches back up and clicks the like small black box next to his collar, and you see like the shimmer pass over his skin again, and the tattoos are once again hidden. He leads you to a small like EDF shuttle that, as you guys load into, you see like crates that have been marked and like put aside. And he hops on board and signs out the shuttle with his EDF credentials.
I teleport.
Cool.
Wow, you torch and teleport.
You
Fucking
have
hell, dude.
succeeded on a
Those
torch
six- holy
twice.
shit.
Before I teleport, though, I say, bye-bye, bitch.
Cool.
And I open her mind up. I open it up so she can yell at me or something.
She does. So we see everyone loading up onto the shuttle if there's nothing anyone specifically wants to do.
No, let's go.
Cool.
Okay.
And we see the shuttle pulling away from the EDF Thomas Prince. And we see we kind of focus in the front of the shuttle looking back towards the two ships that are docked. And the shuttle, the ships get smaller and smaller and smaller. And then there's a prick of light on one of the ships. And like the two ships separate from each other and start to drift as the prick of light becomes larger and larger and larger.
Don't
and
watch.
As it like hits you guys as a blinding bright light.
My eyes are already closed.
And then we see as like the light starts to fade.
We see
The
slow.
camera is the camera is close or is like close up on the two ships, and we see like the whole rear half of the Thomas Prince is like gone. The front half of it is pretty severely damaged. The Halliday is taking some pretty serious damage to the rear and lesser to the rest of it. Both ships are in incredibly bad situations. The Thomas Prince is probably completely lost, but the Halliday would probably survive with severe casualties.
That ship's gonna come back and bite us one day.
You don't say.
Morgan, if I wasn't afraid of the contaminants of your DNA, I'd kiss you.
Well,
Didn't you give him that DNA?
That doesn't make it any less dangerous.
I just fall over
Yeah.
unconscious.
Yeah, I'd
We
go
see
to Team tell you.
that
yeah,
happened.
We see the like it goes to the cockpit where the man that Nut knows as Jaden reaches back up and clicks the button. The skin once again shimmers, and we see like the feathers that are tattooed all over him. And he says, "Morgan, get up here now."
Yep. And he walks up.
He without turning, he looks at you. He says, "Getting sick of cleaning up your messes, boy."
Not my mess.
The doctor's messes, boy.
I kind of like her.
He nods. So does D9. Me, on the other hand, well, I'm sick of cleaning up her messes. Next time, that's on you. I won't be there to bail you out.
I understand. It was a get out of jail free card. I've used it already.
He nods. Next time, what happens is on you. And hopefully you don't waste a very valuable asset.
That's why I called you. Because this was a big pile of shit.
He nods. Yes, it was. Now the EDF are going to be reeling from the loss of 2 heavy destroyers.
The funny part is, I brought some rebels along. Christy Coleman. She's apparently with the Freedom Militia or whatever.
He nods. We've been watching them. Why did you bring her?
Someone to blame?
He smirks. Good. A backup plan. I like that. The freedom fighters, they're a good person to blame. Planted a bomb, got their operative out. Of course, less believable if Christie tells the truth.
She's pretty good at telling lies. But if you want to permanently silence her, I can do that.
He says, if you believe she can spread the story, I trust you.
I'll talk to her and see how things shake out.
He nods. Just remember, do what you have to if that doesn't go.
Yep.
Says, there is a larger ship meeting us soon. We'll dock with them, your guests. We put somewhere, and we'll have to... Well, we'll drop you somewhere. You can go about your business.
Good work. I appreciate it.
He nods. Couldn't let my newest protege die so soon.
Yeah, it would have been terrible.
And he nods and
Is that
goes
all?
back to flying. Yeah.
Yeah, and he returns back to the passenger seats, and he cracks his knuckles and cracks his spine and leans next to Christy and kind of sits down beside her and says, "Well, turns out my mate is better than your mates."
Cut to credits.
Yes.
Yeah. Cool. I like it.
We have a post-credit scene this
awesome.
time, Liam.
Yeah, I think we do. I like this. This is a cool post-credit scene.
it's fun.
Cool.
Danger
So, yeah,
Zone
we-
starts playing in the background as
we
the
have
shuttle.
we have the credits roll, and the end of the credits we see the inside of a ship, and there is rubble everywhere. Parts of it have collapsed, sparks, emergency lighting, shit everywhere.
Sloan has turned into the alien. He just stalks around.
And we see torches through the darkness, and we see particles floating through it, and we see a couple of people reach out into the torch and pull themselves along until they reach this blockage, which is made out of a wall of rubble and sheeting and panels and supports, and we hear through a suit radio, we hear, "Think anyone's still alive in here?" And another voice says, "They'll have to be damn lucky to be alive. The whole place is in vacuum. All atmosphere is gone. Anyone survived here, they were in an Admiral suit or armor. Something that survived the blast. This area wasn't too hard hit, but..." Shrugs. "This is where all the Marines were. If anything survived, it's them, right?"
Suddenly sweaty.
And we see the first one reach forward and pull away a beam, and start to pull away different things, and we see, as he pulls away one beam, we see a multiple torchlights from the inside shining out, and we hear the same voice we heard before say, "Holy shit, someone's in here." And then it flicks to an external speaker, and we hear, "Anyone alive in there? You all dead?" And we hear another external speaker answering, "No, I'm alive. Me and a couple others. We're hurt, but our suits remained intact. We didn't lose much atmosphere." And we see a almost sped up excavation, and 3 people in EDF assault suits are pulled out of the wreckage. One of them you can see where from probably here down the arm is missing, and this suit's like self-sealing goo has like spread across the gap to seal the hole. One of them's leg is like the wrong direction, but the other one seems okay. And then we see, as the camera kind of like pans around the wounded Marines, we see the like faceplate of the rescuer, whose like perspective we've been following, and it's clear. And behind the faceplate, we see Slain.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Truly, truly the greatest hero.
And
It just says like some inane Texan accents.
oh god,
Sweet.
that's
Do we see Slane's skin fall off and the Terminator underneath?
Of course.
Can we do goals?
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll do goals and experience.
So mine are real easy. I didn't expect to complete all of them this session because I thought there would be another couple episodes of on this ship. But secure personal effects, which has been done. Get off the EDF ship and ensure my identity stays secret.
Okay, cool. So yeah, I'll give you them.
Your identity was not kept secret though.
It definitely was kept secret.
My goals were get off or away from the EDF ship, which I did, retrieve my equipment, which I did, and overpower / fuck with Lucia Saris.
Well, that you did.
I mean, he needs to get more than 1 XP for that, right?
I torched 3 times.
Purely to fuck with her.
Oh man. The only goal I completed was Arlene Santos. I want her to be used for our purposes, so I wanted to talk her out of her suicidal thoughts.
Yep. So at base, everyone can have 1 experience for like completing the arc of this ship, completing this episode and getting off the ship alive. Matt, you can have 1 extra experience for each of your goals. Quack, you can have 2 for fucking with Lucia. And then how many? What others did you have? Sorry.
I had get off the ship and retrieve my shit.
Okay, cool. So yeah, you get 1 each for either of those.
I get 5. I level up.
Any other goals from anybody?
No, unless Tony counts as a my standing ovation for slow clapping me, then no.
And no.
Yeah, no, I only had the Arlene Santos goal. So
Yeah,
Cool.
I was like, I'll
So yeah,
ace
you
the
can
interview.
have 1 extra for the Arlene Santos,
I level up.
because that was get her out of her mood. So you definitely did that.
And I wanted to one up the the CO, but the problem is I one upped her through Constantine, who fucked her plan. it doesn't. The goal is not worded properly.
Yeah,
So-
yeah.
I don't want to get experience for that. It's fine.
To be fair, not only did we fuck up her plan, I fucked her up. Just to be fair.
Yeah, but that was not like as a person. I did not do anything to achieve that aside from
Yeah,
putting you in your correct place. I wanted to be the one that fucked her up.
Constantine, sick 'em.
yeah.
Alright. We will be back with more Stars Without Number Abaddon in 2 weeks on the 22nd or the 21st or the 20th of November. I think the 20th of November.
21st.
The 21st of November. Thank you very much, Lane.
21st.
First, I
Yeah,
said.
21st of November, same time, same place.
Yeah.
Thank you
Same bad channel.
very much for watching. That is true, and we will see you next time.